Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this video. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for clicking in to watch this video. This is GWARINPA. I'm sure a lot of people have heard the word GWARINPA even without being to Nigeria, because GWARINPA is the biggest and largest estate in West Africa. And now if you check, you will see that somebody recently told me that River Park Estate is now the biggest estate or largest estate, which is still located in Nigeria on the airport road. But that hasn't changed from Google. The last time we knew, or the last time we checked, GWARINPA remains the largest and biggest estate in West Africa, because inside this GWARINPA, people work here, as they live in GWARINPA, they work in GWARINPA, their children's school in GWARINPA, everything is happening in the estate. They go to church in GWARINPA. So in GWARINPA, you have everything you need, and GWARINPA is for the middle class. Even though things have become so somehow in the economy, and now they are saying it's either you are rich or poor, but no, GWARINPA is for the middle class, people that are okay. They live in GWARINPA. Those who are still very okay, those who are rich and wealthy, they still have properties in GWARINPA, but they don't live here. There are people who also live here who are very rich. They live here because they don't want people to begin to put an eye on them, to say maybe they have so much. So you can see how beautiful GWARINPA is. GWARINPA is beautiful. I remember then GWARINPA used to be so lonely. Then people were still moving in newly and all that, and the reason why a lot of people live in this GWARINPA at affordable price, like they were able to buy houses here, was because it was government that mortgaged a lot of those houses. And I will still say that if you want to really invest, if you check out GWARINPA, the other side of GWARINPA, which is the GWARINPA extension, you see where they are building new houses. There are few new buildings in GWARINPA because it's an old estate. So the whole of this place, even though a lot of people are giving their properties a facelift, you could say that not that you will see more new designs like you see in GWARINPA 2 or GWARINPA 3, because GWARINPA is actually a very big, when I say big estate, like it's big. You see good schools in GWARINPA. Good school, when I say good schools, good, very good schools, not the good school by the edifice, or good school by the uniform, or good school by the signpost, but good school intellectually. Like they are kids, the pupils, the students of such schools are really brainy, they are intelligent children, and they are well mannered. Yes, GWARINPA, it's a beautiful place. Like you can see the landscape, the buildings, the clean roads, and in GWARINPA they have keke, this tricycle you're seeing plying the place. They don't allow bike men inside GWARINPA. It's not allowed. They banned them a long time ago. In fact, at some point they banned the tricycle people, but because they felt that some people may not have cars to go around, so they decided to allow the tricycle, because this tricycle, they can be very funny sometimes. Oh my god, you guys should see what my camera is giving. Oh my god, it's giving what it should be giving. Man, Abuja is beautiful. Oh god, Abuja is beautiful. Some of you who have not, I'm only showing you a sneak peeks of how Abuja is. If you come to Abuja, somebody saw a video of mine and said that Asokoro is like the low-income places in Cape Town, something like that. And I said no. I said come to Abuja. When you come to Abuja and you decide for yourself, by the time you come to Abuja, you look at this place. It's an estate though. This is just an estate where the rich and the middle class live. But then again, more of the middle class live here, and that is why I decided to put this video to be GWARINPA is for the middle class. GWARINPA is beautiful. GWARINPA is beautiful. The only challenge in GWARINPA, you know me, I'm one person that will always give you people the good side of a place and the not so good side of a place. Not because the place is really bad, but I will tell you everything you should expect. Look at that building now. See landscape. See, oh my god, see beauty. Oh god, this place is beautiful. I'm not even exaggerating. You can see that it's giving what it should be giving. 10 over 10 minus nothing. Oh my god, I think I'll buy a house in GWARINPA in the future. You see why people should watch my content so that I can buy a house in GWARINPA. Imagine I'm in GWARINPA and I buy a house and one of you now come to visit my house. Wouldn't you like that? Wouldn't you want to come and visit me in GWARINPA? I'm sure you want to do that. There's one house I saw in GWARINPA. Guys, that house is beautiful. Oh god, it's just that the people were not around for me to tour that house. That house they said was 200 million. It is worth it. In fact, I was thinking the house would be around 500 million, only for me to hear that it's 200. Let me tell you one thing about property in Abuja. Property in Abuja is about location. You see a house that is so beautiful, well finished, well lit, everything, 10 over 10 minus nothing kind of houses, and the price they will give you, you'll be wondering, oh my god, if this house was in Asokoro or it was in Maitama, this house would be going, because that building I saw, if it were in Maitama, it would be around 550, 600 million. Yes, but because it's in GWARINPA, and I think I'll pick GWARINPA. I don't know why. I'll prefer to live in GWARINPA. You guys should look at how GWARINPA is. See the blue sky now. See trees. See, oh my god. See the flowers. See everything. Like, should I say GWARINPA has the best landscape? Is that what I should say? Should I say they have the best landscape? Oh my god. I don't understand. GWARINPA is fine. GWARINPA is beautiful. Try god. GWARINPA fine. Okay guys, so when I saw the house, I was like expecting that. I actually called the agent, but they were not around. This is just look how beautiful this place is. They were not around, so I just wanted, you know, to tour the place. If you saw this place, guys, if you saw this place, you will be the one to advise us to say pick that house now. And when I asked how much, they said 200 million. That house is worth it. That house is worth that. In fact, at 250 is worth it. Is worth the money. Guy, you know me, I like good things, Sha. I like good things. So oh my god, look at GWARINPA. Oh guys, are you seeing an estate too? All these places you are seeing me going. In fact, the last video you watched before this one, we entered into GWARINPA a little bit, but because I wanted GWARINPA to be a separate video, I had to stop. Oh, check this out now. GWARINPA is beautiful. GWARINPA is beautiful. So the only challenge that I have with GWARINPA tricycle, this keke napep, we call them keke napep, this yellow tricycle you see, is that they are very reckless when they are driving. They can pull out your side mirror out of struggling to pass, which is not necessary, right? Because if you are on the right of way, you should allow the other people also pass. You don't need to make a fizz out of it. So now this place, they call it something, is it Chamberlain Plaza also? Yeah, this is the area, you know. So we are going to turn to the right now, where you see the GT Bank. In fact, this is almost like a bank road. You see banks, you see hospitals, you see plazas where people sell, shopping malls. You see, well, you see these road safety people were thinking if I was videoing them, but it wasn't about them anyway. So you see guys, let's continue, you know, watching these videos, because you will see beautiful places. You will wondering, and all these places you are seeing is inside the same GWARINPA. We have not even gone to the other side of GWARINPA. In fact, this is just let's say it just 30%. No, how would I say? Let's say 10% of GWARINPA. GWARINPA is big, and if I want to tour GWARINPA in a day, I'm going to. That's why I'm saying that GWARINPA is the biggest and largest estate in West Africa, and I'm not kidding. It's the truth. If I'm to tour the whole of GWARINPA, it will be like a 1 hour video, because even with all I did, we still had 18 minutes. Imagine that I toured the whole GWARINPA. We will have a 1 hour video just on GWARINPA. On this road, you have the hospital. It's a good hospital, so I'm going to market them. They were the ones that did the surgery on my mom's hand. It's called Kelena Hospital. So if people are having like people with blood pressure issues, you can check them out. They are good, they are good. So I decided to sell them today. They call them Kelina Hospital. It's in Gwarinpa. It's on this avenue. I can't remember this avenue. We had passed the 7th Avenue, and we had passed we Bat Road 69, but I can't remember this avenue. But if you just say Kelina Hospital, everybody knows where Kelina is. I hope they've not even moved out, because they are on this road on your left. And this market you're seeing on where this tricycle are standing was one market that burnt down. All the grains the people had, all everything burnt down. It was really terrifying, you know. It burnt down, like you know that kind of early hours you wake up early hours and see a market burning. Like no, around 2 a.m. and people had already gone home. So a lot of people don't live in Gwarinpa, but they have shops in Gwarinpa. So imagine them. That's Kelina Hospital we just passed now on your left. That's the Kelina Hospital. You see, that's it, a whole lot. So when they got back, they saw that every of their things were burnt. Please guys, ignore my neighbor's dog. They've spoken to this guy. He's not still removing the dogs. In my own compound, I'm still hearing this dog. We live in an estate. He has his own apartment and his compound, his environment. I have my own, but he keeps his dog very close to my area. So what do I do? For me to this, the Bible says we should live in peace with all men. That is what I'm trying to live in peace with him. You know that kind of thing. I don't want trouble, and it's a new year, so I'm avoiding anything, because there are people that the estate chairman had gone to speak with him. They have spoken on the estate platform, and he's still adamant. So I don't want to be the one to confront him, and I'm begging you guys not to please be crossed because of that backing. Ignore it for me. Thank you so much for all the love, the support on this channel. I do not take it for granted. I do not take it for granted, because you guys are super amazing that you come to watch my content. Okay, you can see that we turn to our right instead of going straight. That's to show you that Gwarinpa is really big. If I want to tour Gwarinpa, it will take me a whole day. It will be a whole day's tour, and we might not finish. You know why? We'll have to go round Gwarinpa and then be entering streets. As we are going round, any street we see, we enter. Gwarinpa is actually the biggest estate in West Africa. You know, without mixing words, I would say that Gwarinpa is a peaceful place. It was years back that Gwarinpa used to be very, very bad, where a taxi guy can actually pick you and rob you inside the vehicle because it was quiet. But since people moved into Gwarinpa, more people came into Gwarinpa, more offices, more shops. There are people, like I told you, who school in Gwarinpa. Their house is in Gwarinpa, their market is in Gwarinpa, everything they do is in Gwarinpa. Like, they don't ever go outside Gwarinpa to do anything. Everything they do is inside the same estate. You can see that it's really massive, right? It's a very big estate. So they do everything in Gwarinpa, and they don't have the need to go outside to do anything. Do you get? So that's why I'm telling you that Gwarinpa is the biggest. When I mean the biggest, it's actually the biggest estate, the largest in West Africa. So then those things were happening, but right now things have changed. There's no security threat, everything. That's why you see that so many people live in Gwarinpa and their houses do not have fence. They do not have fence, and they've never had any cause for alarm. Nobody has ever burgled their houses or their shops, and everybody is fine. I'm not going to say that there are no issues sometimes, but it's not really inside Gwarinpa like that. Maybe some other places like that, pockets, in some pockets of places like that. I don't even know the right word to use. So I want to advise you that if you have a place that you have been thinking, maybe you have a place that is in the interior or the outskirts of Abuja, you could sell it and come to Gwarinpa and buy a land. Because if you buy a land, I want to give you a business idea. Build shops where people can rent to sell. Build a plaza. You make so much money in Gwarinpa, because shops in Gwarinpa go as far as 2 million per annum. So you can see that there are some shops that go for 1 million, depends on the square meter. There are shops that go for 2.5, 1.5, depends on the environment, and because it depends on the place. Like if you are building like a kind of shopping mall that is in almost like all that is sharing the same building, the people that take the ground floor will usually pay more. That's what is done. That's a practice in Nigerian property that I see. It's common. I don't know if it's in our law, but I see that happen. People who on the ground floor pay more than those up, maybe because They are the first people will see, and they'll sell more. I don't know the rationale behind that, decision that people they do in most of the estates, sorry, most of the plazas. I see them doing that. So guys, just come to Guarimpa and establish. And also another thing you should do build in Guarimpa is an event center where people can have wedding receptions. They can have yeah, an event center that is very beautiful, where you have the children's side, the adult side, you have the bouncing castle, just a recreational center where people can always rent your shop to do events. Like, a lot of people go all the way to a life camp area, that Godab side. For those of you who know Abuja very well, that's where they do their events. You see somebody rent a hall for 1.2. So if you're inside Guarimpa, you have a very good space and a very good, in fact, you can buy a pack, or not even buying it, rent it and put your, how they call this, these tents, those beautiful tents, and people will come rent it. Put your ACs and fans, ensure that it's always chilling, and have enough space. Have event planners also, so that in case somebody wants to get married and do not have event planners, you can supply them with event. In fact, get in touch with event planners, caterers, a lot of those things. You discover that a lot of people will be hiring you, or hiring your place, or renting your place, and it's a whole lot of money. And see how beautiful we stood here. I love this branch of the flower that just stayed by the light. I love it. I am a law-abiding citizen, so wherever we get to a traffic light, we stop, which is the right thing to do. When we stopped, another car stopped at our right, and it was just wondering what I was doing with the camera, but of course it is what it is. We've got to do what we got to do, right? So guys, what do you think? Did you like Guarimpa content? Will you love to visit Guarimpa? Have you heard of Guarimpa before? Have you heard that is the biggest estate in West Africa? I don't know, have you ever heard that? What will you really think of doing? Like, as we are going now, Guarimpa is still on the right. Part of Guarimpa is still on the right. So Guarimpa is really very large. It's it's massive, like where people say it's massive, baby. Yeah. So guys, what will you do with all I've told you about the prospects in Guarimpa, everything that you can do in Guarimpa to earn money? If you want to open a shop, you can do it in Guarimpa, and you have the patronage. Another thing I forgot to mention is that when there's school time, like when schools are in session, Guarimpa is usually a very busy place. It's not a place you want to pass when you are in a hurry, because of the hold up there, as parents will be trying to drop their kids in school. Either the time for dropping in school and pick up is usually a very crowded time because of hold up and all of those things. So I just thought to bring that to you, so that you will know how to plan your time when visiting Guarimpa. Thank you guys for watching. See you in our next one. God bless you. Subscribe.